use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards the bottom of your screen. If you need an assistive screen reader, press the Windows, Control, and Enter keys at the same time to turn on narrator. Okay, enough intro. Let's dig in.
All right, so
Your region is set to the United States. Is that right?
all right, so for those of you who've bought new computers in the past, at least the recent past, this is exactly what you experience, either whether it's Windows 10 or 11. This is the default startup. So what I usually have someone do is when they bring me their computer, or what I do is I totally reinstall Windows. Mainly because when you buy a computer, regardless of cost, at least from Windows, you get a bunch of software you don't need.
Okay, don't let me hold you up. Just pick the one you want from the list.
Basically virus protection or trial software like Dropbox or any other file sharing utility. Generally stuff that just makes your machine less reliable. I have literally had people bring me their machines. They'll go to start them up, and the first thing that happens is that it freezes. And what often causes that is software that's incompatible and hasn't been tested properly with the exact configuration that Windows was installed on this machine. So the first thing I usually like to do is just totally wipe the machine clean and install Windows and have it be nothing but Windows. It's a lot more reliable, and it's just a lot faster. It uses less memory, and it'll be a more seamless situation in the future. And it'll help eliminate random errors that you may or may not recognize in the future. So it's going to be a more all-around, faster, and more reliable experience. So first thing I'm going to do is turn it off. And now, in this case, it's going to say slide down to shut it off. So, in another video, I have me creating one of these. This is a Windows 11 installation media disk, USB stick. This is a Dell computer, and historically speaking, Dell has allowed you to use the F12 key to boot to this memory stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot off of this. Oops, I waited too long. I gotta start over. Let's see. I waited too long. Alright, so yeah, you gotta continuously tap that F12. So let's do F12, 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 F12 over and over and over and over and over and over. There. Okay, cool. UFEI. Here's our memory stick with Windows 11. So I'm going to tell it to boot off of that. Hit enter. And now it's going to look for Windows on this USB stick. Interesting music I chose today. If you've never been here before, my name is Chris, and I'm offering live interaction. You can give me a call, 855-434-8787. You can watch me do my work. If my repairs or configurations are short and sweet, I'll catch them live. I'm usually here live 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, at around 10 a.m. If I'm not here, it's because someone's paying me to be elsewhere. But it's a schedule I'd like to stick to as often as possible. Alright, so now it's going to be loading the installer off of this memory stick. Now, I had to come back. I was doing this earlier and realized I didn't have the correct driver loaded on this memory stick for the SSD. A lot of the modern hardware comes with later hardware that doesn't have driver support defaulted to the memory installation media. So what I'm going to do is hit next. It was kind of... Dell is not very obvious about exactly what file you need, so I downloaded a bunch of possibilities. I'm thinking because this particular hardware could have sold with 3 or 4 different SSDs, so I downloaded all the installers, and yeah, now I have the file I need. And I tested it off camera, so I didn't waste anyone's time. As you know, I don't do much editing. I just go live and I offer up my interaction. So give me a call, 855-434-8787. So now we're not doing any upgrades. We are going to totally wipe the drive clean, which basically means we're doing the custom install Windows only, advanced. Okay, now this is what I was just speaking of. By default, it doesn't see the hard drive. It doesn't see any partitions. The firmware, the BIOS sees the hardware. But the partitions aren't visible until you install the driver for the driver. For the drive. The driver for the drive. There you go. So now I've pre-established placement in a particular folder on this SanDisk memory stick. I'm going to hit the load folder, and then I'm going to hit browse, and then I'm going to go USB-C. That looks confusing because it's not technically C, and is for all intents and purposes right now. But once the machine is loaded, we all know that Windows sits on the C drive in the computer. So now I've already established myself this Dell, this custom folder I've dumped on there, and now I've labeled another subfolder for the Inspiron 153,000. I have other folders here because I've used the same Dell folder for other Dells, but I'm going to hit Inspiron 153,000, and then for the sake of finding it easily, I labeled this subfolder Stock SSD. Isn't that clever? Alright, so now Dell and their brilliant naming convention, I don't know what this F6VMDFLPY-X64 stands for. I know what the X64 is, but whatever this other verbiage is, who knows. Anyway, I'm going to click OK, and look at that. Now I have two options. I'm going to click the first one, Intel RSD VMD controller 9 Alpha 0 Bravo. And then, of course, it shows me exactly where it is. Next. And now I'm going to continue. And we're going to see after this, we will have access to all the partitions that Dell put in place. This will take another few seconds, and there we go. So now, from here, I can delete all these partitions, all the utility partitions, for a more fluid, more fast, more streamlined experience. I do this to all the machines that come in. Alright, there we go. So I've deleted just about all the partitions, and now they're all gone. So now we can start off with our 500 gig drive, our SSD that's now blank, and hit next, which will automatically format and partition the drive. From here on, it's going to be hurry up and wait. This is a brand new machine, so I can imagine this is only going to be another 5 minutes. But I do this all the time for most of the customers that buy brand new computers. Once I've totally reinstalled Windows, then I'll do all the updates, then I'll invite the customer to come back, and then I'll help the customer reinstall Office or any other software that she needs. She doesn't really have any data to speak of. She brought in her old HP several days ago, and it was just a heap. So we tossed it. Dell is a much better brand, in my opinion, than HP. I did wear warranty repair for 3.5 years, about 10 or 12 years ago. They had their up and downs. They have their problem childs. Like right now, actually the 13 has always been bad for them. Back when I did warranty repair for Dell. The M1330, what a pile of junk. That thing overheated. I was literally sent out to replace like up to 5 motherboards for a customer. Under warranty. But that was our one trouble model, that era. Now they still have trouble with the 13-inch XPS. They have problems under engineering the power cable where the jack where the power comes in breaks, and then they also have problems with it overheating and the motherboards go bad. I've had maybe 12 of them in here in the last couple of years, which says a lot because I don't do that much volume. I do a fairly small number of people. So we're already just about half done installing Windows. And once this is done, I'll restart, and we may or may not have access to the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi driver also sometimes is not consistently available on the USB stick. And if that's not the case, one of the advantages of this little adapter here isn't so much that the USB is just there, but of course, because you're converting Ethernet to the USB, Windows has all the USB drivers. So I don't have to worry about going looking for an Ethernet driver. I would if I went straight to Ethernet, but in this case, even if I have an Ethernet jack, which in this machine and most machines I don't, because most machines are so thin they physically don't have the physical space for it. So this USB-A adapter allows me to plug in Ethernet, and even if I didn't have the Ethernet adapter, the Ethernet driver available to me, I could convert it to USB, plug in, and 2 or 3 seconds later get it online. I'm also going to use this to cheat. I'm going to get Windows Home Edition logged in with a local account. Supposedly, you're only supposed to be able to do that with a professional version of Windows 11. So I managed to sidestep that. I learned that lesson months ago. Yes, I think probably my 3rd or 4th installation of Windows 11. That's my personal opinion. I'm just going to get everyone up on 11 whenever possible. I don't want my customers to deal with potential in-place upgrade issues. If I just do that upgrade for them, obviously I do take care of my customers and make sure I'm available to them if they have questions or have trouble. Other professionals are under the impression that it's best to keep people on 10 for as long as it's professionally supported, and I do understand and respect that decision, but it's not mine. All right, so 93% completed. It's going to restart. We'll see if we have Wi-Fi attached. Actually, yeah, we have to do the USB so we can trick it. So what I'm going to do for the local account for Windows Home, I'm going to plug in the USB, pretend we have an internet connection, and then steal it. I'm going to give it a real internet connection for about 5 seconds. But yeah, Microsoft, if you have a home edition of Windows 11, they want you to use your Microsoft account. I don't know how they advertise that, or why they think it's going to get people to spend the extra money on the Pro version. I mean, frankly, the only thing I would tell people to get the professional version for is BitLocker. Or if you're in a corporate environment and you need domain access. But most general users don't need it. So we're going to restart. 5 seconds left. All right. All right, here we go. Getting started. Service is ready. There we go. You're watching a Windows installation of Windows 11 on a brand new Inspiron 15 3000. Setting up a computer, minimalist style. Nothing but Windows, nothing but the updates. Once the updates are done, I will invite the customer back. I'll help her install Office. I don't know if she's going to do 365 or she's going to do the full version of Office. She might decide she doesn't need it. I think she just needs access to the outside world. Alright, so technically Windows is now installed. It's restarting, finalizing a... well, it's going to ask us to create an account. Her name is Patty. Let me see, do we have access yet? Can I dumb down? Nope, we don't have all the graphics drivers yet. I can't... You can still sort of see that. Okay, so we're going to click yes for United States for the region. We're going to click the United States keyboard. No, we don't need another keyboard layout, so we hit skip. So this is where I was talking about a minute ago. Next, let's connect to your network. So we are going now that Windows is installed. I can remove my Windows 11 USB stick. Now I can plug in my USB to Ethernet adapter. Okay, there's our Ethernet. There, it says it's connected. Then I'm going to hit next, and now I'm going to pull the Ethernet out. And now it's not going to be able to do the updates, but obviously it's not going to crash. It's going to prompt us for a username. All right, her name is Patty. She can do her own password. Next, accept. Getting things ready for you. Shane, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate the regular repeats. How's my audio? It's hard for me to monitor myself. No, it's actually not bad. Did you see that I managed to get... Yeah, that's all right. I haven't been able to offer a regular viewership here, but I'd appreciate you showing up. Things are going all right. I have my health. That means a lot. Good. Please keep your PC plugged in. On and plugged in. There we are. Yeah, Shane, did you know you could do that little trick? To get Windows Home on a local account, you just plug in the Ethernet for a minute, or literally several seconds. There we go. So, let me see. I'm just guessing. I'm wondering. Okay, so... Yeah, it didn't include the Wi-Fi driver, so we're going to plug the USB driver back in. Yes, Super Mario's still around. He's out working. My plumber friend, yes, Tom is available. Mario is available. I mean, he's around. All right, there's our Ethernet adapter. So, now I'm going to finish up these updates. This might be literally longer. It's literally longer to do the updates than it is the installation of Windows. You guys, the next door neighbor is making all sorts of racket. It's awful. I don't know why they're putting so much effort into their unit. We're all going to get kicked out of here sooner than later. Oh, I'm talking about, Shane, to install Windows Home, in order to get the local account instead of a Microsoft account, you have to tell Windows Home, Windows 11 Home, to install off of a network connection. Otherwise, it won't proceed. Yeah, so what I have here is a USB adapter for my Ethernet, so I can just easily accommodate any machine that shows up on the desk. Now this customer's computer is long gone and dead. She doesn't care about the data. She just wants access to the outside world. Yeah. Alright. Alright, so basically that is it. You just watched me install a driver a little differently than normal because the Windows 11 driver wasn't included in the Windows installer. Yeah, so basically, just Shane, the Home Edition won't let you proceed with a local account. They require you to have an Ethernet connection and logging in with your Microsoft account. Apparently, the professional version allows you to go either route. So if you trick it by giving it an Ethernet connection for the first several seconds, it'll allow you to proceed with a local account. Dude, it literally took me like 20 minutes to find the right SSD driver for this thing. Because it's not labeled. I went to the BIOS and tried to figure out what model drive was installed, and the driver that got the driver working is not labeled under the same... It's a Micron drive, but there's nothing mentioning the Micron hardware on Dell's website. I just extracted a bunch of storage files to that folder, and they populate. Yeah, you know what, Shane, the only thing I know different is between the home and the professional version is BitLocker and domain support. And of course the local account restriction. Can you think of any other restrictions with home versus professional version? Alright, I think these updates are all waiting for me to sort of restart the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and expedite that. Restart. This will solidify some of the updates. These prereq updates. No, it was already on AHCI. Shane. Yeah, I thought of that a while ago. When I first realized that was a problem, I thought that changing AHCI from RAID was the problem, but I actually had to go find the driver manually. And of course, when you install an aftermarket drive like from Samsung, it's not a problem. The driver necessary. Yeah, I thought I heard that there might be something about a memory limitation, but I'm not sure. I just know domain support, BitLocker, and apparently you can easily get around it, but the local account restriction. I'll Google it later. All right, there we go. We've got most of our updates in place. Attention needed. It still has several updates available. And that's pretty much it. This is, for all intents and purposes, a completed Windows install, minus its latest updates. Yeah, I respect the decision to stick with 10, as long as it's professionally supported by Microsoft. I understand that. But I mean, my customers have me, and I'm not the type to nickel and dime my customers, so they don't have to worry about me charging for 5 minutes of effort. So if customers get frustrated, they do know that I'm available to them by going with Windows 11. Frankly, I've used it myself. I've installed it maybe 20 times. If anyone brings me back their computer, it's for unrelated issues. Huh. Yeah, Windows Home, for most people, it's everything they need. Although BitLocker apparently, well, you know what? Is BitLocker available on Home? I know it is on the Windows 10. I mean, no, it's not available on the Home version of Windows 10. I don't know if that restriction lifted with 11. All right, here we are. Right, yeah, it's in really BitLocker is something for someone that has on a laptop, and if they have information they really care. Well, that's really easy to have personal information on there, even if you don't realize it. But yeah, BitLocker, it's not a showstopper, but on a desktop it's not so big a deal. Alright, so it looks like we have just several updates. The Dell firmware update, that'll be critical. Still has not installed. Oh, that's interesting. Windows just said it failed at some updates. Is that because they installed in the wrong order? Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Let's turn the brightness down. Oh, the brightness isn't working here. Restart now. You're watching me install Windows 11 real time, doing the updates. Start to finish, empty hard drive to full of updates. Yeah, I'm surprised how good my look. The lighting is actually not bad. I thought I turned off all my lights because I was trying to keep the glare off the screen. I'm surprised the lighting in my face is actually not so bad. Yeah, until I get a more professional setup and get a desktop computer to shove its video through the hardware that I'm working on, I'm going to have to deal with having to point a camera at the screen. Alright, there we go. Okay, we're going to finish up these updates. That's the other thing. If you're new to Windows, or new to computers anyway, doing the updates means you usually have to restart the machine and check for new updates 3 or 4 times before they're actually completed. I suppose I could. I mean, really the only driver I've ever had to go get is this SSD update I'm telling you about. And in the old days, remember Windows 7, you used to have to go to the websites for the vendors and download all sorts of drivers, like the sound card, the Ethernet, the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Nowadays, it's just the SSD update driver. And then once Windows is up, I just use the Windows updates. And usually, Windows updates contains all the drivers necessary. There is an occasion, like in this particular situation on this computer, Windows did not have the default drivers for the Wi-Fi. That's another reason I needed to use the USB adapter. And it looks like it's still not showing up here. Oh yes, no. Okay, yeah, I did finally see now my Wi-Fi populates. So the driver for the Wi-Fi has been populated. There we go. Yeah, I'm a total minimalist. I don't like installing extra software if I can avoid it. The only updates I like to do are the actual native updates in Windows Update. Alright, okay, so now I'm going to restart the machine because we have some other updates. The little red icon next to the Ethernet connection has told me that we have some updates to finalize. So let's get these solidified, installed, and handled. All right. Yeah, I particularly have very few issues with Windows 11 so far. There's some cosmetic choices they've made that kind of frustrate me, like when you right-click. There's some right-clicking, like copy and paste are hidden. You have to go to the Show More entry at the bottom of the menu when you right-click on the desktop. That's my biggest peeve right now, cosmetically. Have you noticed that? All right. Attention needed. It still has updates available. We're going to do these updates. Probably one or two more restarts. See, the problem is these updates are prerequisites for subsequent updates. So if they're not done in the right order, some aftermath updates can't fully install until their prior updates are put in place. Yeah, I know. I'm fairly dyslexic, so when it comes to commands, typing commands either in Bash or DOS, I've always shied away from it. Yeah, if it wasn't for the GUI, I would have never found computers. We have Shane Russell, one of my regulars from more than a year ago, chatting me up in the YouTube chat at South Bay Tech Gurus. You can also give me a call at 855-434-8787. Give me a conversation there. I try to show up 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. And of course, if I have any other sorts of easier repairs to do on camera live, I'll do them live, on or off schedule. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I'll play with that, Shane. Thanks. All right. So, your device is missing important security updates. Make sure you keep your device on and plugged in so updates can complete. All right. So, we have some more updates pending. So I'm going to restart again. What's all that racket? All right, we're getting there. Yeah, I love copy and paste. I get so frustrated when I find some sort of technical fix that requires me to type a string of text. It just makes my soul ache. That's why I never got into Linux, because Linux is second to making it big with the GUI. Windows has been good with the GUI, and so has Apple for longer than variants of Linux, which is why I just never got into it. As soon as I realized I had to do a lot of bash commands to be sort of fluent with it, I pretty much shied away from it. Yeah, copy and paste have helped me a long way. I've got a customer that keeps delaying picking up his hard drives. They're taking up half of my workspace. He brought me 4 hard drives. I only got data off of 2 of them. All 4 of them are IDE hard drives. 2 of them fired up, gave me their data. The other 2 looked like they had never been used. They weren't even partitioned, but they did mount. They just didn't have any partition assigned to them. So they probably all came out of a fairly high-end machine 20 years ago. More than that, actually. Yeah, I think the timestamp on that drive, or one of those drives, was 02. All right. We're almost there. Shane, thank you for showing up, giving me someone to talk to. Simple repair. I might actually install an SSD on another machine in a few minutes after this is done and complete. I want to get this customer taken care of because I'm out of space right now. I've got 2 customers' computers on one desk and 2 computers on another desk. All active work I'm working on. Updates are underway. Please keep your computer on. Yeah, that USB adapter for the Ethernet. That has helped me a lot too. That's a cute little $10 adapter that makes things easier. That's just what this machine defaulted. It's an Inspiron 153,000. That's what it defaulted with the 500. I never have to add drivers if I do my go-to Samsung 980. Those machines, the Windows installer always sees the drive. It's only these OEM configurations. Samsung's, I guess, considered a premium brand, so you don't see their hardware as OEM hardware. So yeah, I just send out customers based on what the machine is pre-assembled with. And then I have noticed that the SSDs at the retail level, if it's installed as an OEM, they're actually not that much more reliable than a mechanical hard drive. I've seen plenty of retail OEM installed SSDs fail just about as often as a mechanical drive. The only reason I can't say that with confidence is because there's still not that many out there. I'm finally starting to see a far larger number of SSD per versus mechanical hard drive installations out of the box. All right, I think we got most of our updates. This was a big restart. All right. All right, let's see here. There's probably going to be a few more updates. It still hasn't done that Dell update. Apparently there's a BIOS update available. Let's see here. Okay, looks like I have just a few more updates, including that Dell firmware update, version 0.1.8.0. We're almost there. The neighbors are making all sorts of noises. Yeah, earlier you probably heard that dinging. That's them bashing away at the cement. All right. All right, here we go. I think we've got let's go to device manager and just confirm all the drivers are available. It looks like we still have an audio driver to install. Look at that. High definition audio driver still needs to be installed. Oh, and then system firmware 1.8.0. Restart now. Got it. Okay, so I think this restart's going to actually initialize the default BIOS installation. Not sure if that includes anything more than security updates or reliability or maybe some features. Updates in the BIOS are usually for performance. Or yeah, when you update the whole BIOS as a whole, there we go. My articulation wasn't as good. Yeah, so if you've never been here before and you've stumbled across me randomly, this is South Bay Tech Guru is installing Windows 11 on an Inspiron 3000. You can see the start of this video is me installing Windows using the installer media off of an 8 gig memory stick. Once that completes, then we did the downloads for the updates. This is probably our third or fourth time restarting, finalizing updates. We're almost done. There we are. There's that firmware update. Do not power down your system. It will kill the computer. It probably could. Updating BIOS. 17% done. Again, you do these BIOS updates mainly for performance. Sometimes they add features or support for new hardware, but it's usually performance. Sometimes it's for security. Updating system BIOS. 54% done. 55. 56. 57, 58, 59. Alright, we're almost there. 68%. Almost done. Almost done. I guess it needs to do a second count up. Flash progress is a separate procedure, I suppose. %100 done. Now it's going to restart. Nope, one more flash progress. At least this is a little faster. You're watching Dell's BIOS update in real time, unedited, live. Alright, I think it's just about done now. Now it's about to restart the machine. There, BIOS update successful. Rebooting your computer. Almost done. I think I might have a couple new Windows updates available, but for all intents and purposes, you've just watched me go from start to finish. Windows 11 installed on an empty SSD, since that's how I like to set up my new computers. Alright, so what we're going to do... Oh, we got... There we are. Oh, yes, the display driver has still not yet installed. That's the last driver that needed to be updated. Alright, it's restarted with one more update. Let's see if there's any more updates available. Yeah, the only brand I'm telling people to avoid like the plague is HP. I've kind of lost respect for them over the decades. Their printers are painful. Their desktops suck. Their laptops suck. Don't buy an HP. I don't really have a major problem with any of the other brands. Just stay away from HP. Okay, so this is, for all intents and purposes, a completed setup. Let's see if there are any updates available. No, you know what? Well, I guess we have the Intel driver that's still available. I'm going to go ahead and say bye to you guys, call my customer, and introduce her to her new computer. Alright. If you've never been here before, my name is Chris. I usually show up around 10 a.m. Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. If I'm not here on those times, because someone's paying me to be somewhere else. I'm a local IT guy from Los Angeles offering technical support for home users and small businesses here in the South Bay part of Los Angeles. My name is Chris. You can give me a call at 855-434-8787. You can either show up at the YouTube chat, give me a call, or show up at my door, 350 North Sepulveda, Manhattan Beach, California. That's a temporary address for all getting kicked out of here sooner than later. We'll see. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I'm looking. Alright, I'm going to say bye to you guys and go get my customer. Have a good rest of your day. It's just Tuesday. Wednesday will be a new day. Oh, of course, yes, 10 a.m. That's my new, that's my normal schedule. So I might do the other SSD install on the other Dell tomorrow, just so I have something to do. Give me a call. See ya later.